old man stares despondently at the logs. It's like
a tragic comedy. Druggies, prostitutes.
a strange little engine seems to fire up in him again. It straightens his back. The familiar put of hatred.
Specifically, the whole city is a charnel house, stripped clean and draped in neon. Because of the racists, everyone is a racist in Martinez. It's their favorite thing to do in the whole world. Pumped full of steroids and Radio Revachol 92. Race this, race that. Yes, the fly larva in his container. He let some nihilistic advertising yuppies erect a statue of Philippe III. A syphilitic, not since the serfs of ancient Pericarnassus has history produced a more inert social class than the Martinez. Intense, like animals, like those boom morons on the ice. The worst of them is the blood-drenched Sucrion on her yacht, licking her lips. The worst is that old cock parading around in his uniform, throwing balls all day. It's every morning he's there, while the parasites he fought to protect are off in Ozon, or Quayamoran, or some up. That's all the rich really want. Sex with their own children. Throughout history, even the royal bloodline of the suzerain, it's all just an excuse for them. We did good when we pushed him under the horse car, until, in the 30s, the
disco whores are too much. Hatred shuts down his brain's language center. There was something about a statue and nihilistic advertising aid.
Horse. Syphilis is a disease Philippe III contracted in a whorehouse. The statue is an abomination. The bacteria entered his brain and made him squander trillions on sparkling wine, cocainum, and monuments of himself. His son, Philip IV, the insane, contracted syphilis in the womb.
That is technically possible, although Philippe III was not actually syphilitic.
And he still went on to govern Revachol for 25 years. We lost 2 million lives toppling that modem. What a keen remark. Yes, it is, isn't it? It's still there. Do you forgot? The party had each of the 141 Philippian monuments detonated with some advertising cockroaches used their accumulated capital to erect a...
Wait, the bullet hole in Philippe's heart. It had to be. He's already proven capable of taking a far more complicated shot from here.
I did. A needless, sentimental gesture. I should have spared the bullet for a
Yes, shameful. So many others to punish over the years. Isn't that right, detective?
The fat union man let them put it there. Corrupt as he is. Probably got a...
He keeps having opinions about the union's leadership.
Every fucking morning for 34 years. Throwing that ball. One ball against the other. I've always loved royalist ghouls played like it was life itself. Click, clack across the water each day. And that uniform, like a parrot plumage. I remember him. I remember him from La Noce. Not him personally, his make and model. There were tens of thousands of them. That one.
There doesn't seem to be a single person under the pine today.
Fat and plump, like a pheasant. Just begging to be popped off. Please, Mr. Truss, shoot me. Not yet. I like to look at him strut around, place the crosshair on his medals, right on his...
Save the treat for later?
He is a juicy bonbon, that one. A real treat for the black day, the blackest. When I put that gun in my own mouth, I think, no, don't waste it. Put this lead in that cock better. I even hid one bullet, so I'd always have one for him. Haven't seen him around lately, strutting around. Must be down with arthritis. I hope it hurts like hell. I hope he sweats blood. No. I waited too long. I waited too long and now he's dead?
I'm sorry, Mr. Dross. I understand you knew him for a long time.
They're all dead now. Fuck.
If he really wanted to kill him so bad, he would have done. There must have been 1,000 black days on these islands.
And I blew them all. What does it matter now? All human beings care about each other. I cared for seeing his head explode. Now, God damn this world. You think I haven't seen people die? It's all I've seen them do. Fuck.
He's not okay. This is just another black day in a row of black days.
I don't want to talk about goddamn social democrats. Traitors is all that. Glad we talked about what?
His lip curls.
Glad we talked about what?
For a 60-year-old man with stomach trouble, who spent his entire life alone on an uninhabited island, he's clearly a drug user of the painkiller sort, prone to erratic hand gestures, and malnourished.
What? But you said I would be taken to the...
The sum of all the erratic movements, fidgeting, and the wind picks up. The silence on the water is broken all around you.
Your wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You will be given legal counsel within 1 week and must face... Do you understand?
But... No, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
He's sweating. Beads are forming on his forehead.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat. Not really. We could escort him to the pier, then either one of us can take him inland while the other stays here, but...
But then, who watches him while you're coming back here?
You come back for me? How about I go and send a boat back for you?
What is this farce? This is a fucking farce. I can't.
Lillian, you could ask her maybe.
This is no harmless old man.
This fucking world. This world. What is this?
No, listen. Listen now. You thought you heard something.
Maybe we could all fit in there. No, it would take a whole day on this island. You go and transport the prisoner. I'll be here. I can escort him to the pier with you.
This world? What are you talking about?
The wind is cold. Your skin is crawling suddenly. A delicate tangle of arms and legs unfolds from the reeds, limb by limb, to then just stand there, moving its scythe-like arms. It's still there, an unfolding mechanism of reed-like chitin.
What are you talking about? There's nothing there.
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks straight at you with its tiny pinprick eyes and its grotesquely small head. You feel your legs shaking under you and your gun.
Tell me what you see, damn it. I can't make out.
I can see it.
4 simple words, thank God. If you can see, then you... But that means it's really there, spinning slowly, in absolute silence.
Be very, very careful.
The creature stands on long stilt-like legs, antennae hanging from its head like a woman's hair, white and curled at the tips. Its reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As the insect moves its forearms, it produces a faint hiss, like a reel-to-reel machine spinning after the tape breaks.
It is.
You glance over your shoulder. The lieutenant holds a piece of milled aluminium. He begins to pull it open. No, the flash will scare the creature off. Warn him now.
We need a photo. No one will believe us.
From the corner of your eye, you see a sudden cascade of motion ripple through the phasmid's limbs. A series of ultrasonic clicks fills your ear.
I won't be one of those fools who didn't take a picture.
You see the phasmid turn to him, its mandible antennae reaching out. Its motions are quick, sudden.
Understood. Of course.
The spindly mechanism turns itself back to you, its antennae taking their measure of the air, slowly. Nothing changes in the cyclical braying motion of the creature's limbs. They are porcelain. Its insect mind is impenetrable to your reasoning. Slowly, with your breath held, you take 2 small steps toward the phasmid. The tracheal system on the creature's abdomen expands in front of you to take in. Hissing and clicking, it extends its mandible-like antennae to greet you. You're right below it now, looking up at the colossal chitin of its white limbs.
Maybe it is real, the pheromone.
The insect's head is crowned with reed-like scales, the shape of seed heads. They rustle as the air moves. The ventricles at its abdomen continue expanding, like lunglets. Breathing you in, your sour, greasy semiochemicals on the breeze. The insect stops its stridulation, seeming to observe you. Below its crown of reeds, suddenly, there is silence. As you do, the invertebrate comes to life, its limbs moving independent of each other, praying to you. Unwittingly, the insect continues its stridulations. As it moves, tuft-like structures, still pretending to be plants, rustle along on its joints. No reply. A total ancient silence comes from its mouth, along with what appears to be some kind of foam. You were right. Little bubbles form on the mouth parts of the creature, on its segmented lower lip. It looks to be foaming.
Careful. It may be poisonous.
The foam slowly turns a darker shade, like burnt caramel, as the insect moves its mouth parts, masticating. The little bubbles begin to burst, one by one.
I exist. Tell me what it's like for you. Then I will tell you what it's like for me. Fire? Where? I do not have fire inside me. In me, there is not even blood. Now, I will tell you what it's like for me. For me, it is a series of half-lit images, of shapes of plants and animals, and internal sensations. As I am at the end of a narrow funnel, weightless, so light, it only feels like something to be me. In truth, perhaps I'm nothing. Are you sure? Sometimes, when molting, I will grow a lost limb. One time something went wrong, and a small leg replaced a missing antenna. The leg tried to move around independently, making it hard to walk. Yes, thankfully someone aided. The next time I molded, a granite, so am I. I was born to detect sucrose rewards and semiochemicals. What were you born to detect? He's in a bad state, deteriorating fast now. He thinks I am beneficial to him, but I am not. Very slowly, and only because he won't go away. It is meant to keep them from noticing me, to interfere with the pictures in their head. No, you are awake. I am real. Light is forming me. This, not even the birds know that. Not even the water lily. You can also eat it. If it's a leaf, you can put it in your mouth.
Wait, so
Yes, they don't mind. Yes, I once cloned myself and ate the little ones. It was winter, and I woke up at the wrong time. I am an unknown species of the order Phantasmadia, endemic to the Insulandian Insula. For the last 350 years, I have hidden in plain sight, masquerading as the reeds, and went unnoticed by the first settlers and the land surveyors of the suzerain. Also, by the soldiers of the revolution and the officials of the occupation. I have stayed hidden through four forms of government and two scientific revolutions until I was accidentally discovered by a detective of the citizen militia in Resuelto, district of Martin. No, you are. The moral of our encounter is, I am a relatively median life form, while it is you who are a total extreme madness, a volatile senior nerve system ominously new to the planet. The Pale too came with you. No one remembers it before you. The Nidarians do not. The radially symmetrics do not. It is a nervous shadow cast into the world by you, eating away at reality. A great, unnatural territory. Its advent coincides with the arrival of the human mind. You're a violent and irrepressible miracle. The vacuum of cosmos and the stars burning in it are afraid of you. Give me enough time, you will work. We suspect it will be something like the oxygen holocaust that wiped out anaerobic life 2.0.
Instead of air, you exhale thoughts. There are no trees that eat thoughts.
Everything your eyes touch goes back there, behind the nerve mirror. What if you blink? Are we still here? Please don't blink. Please, do not do that again. No, you're only thinking it now. This is a revelation. Simian Butcher. Soon, one of you will close your eyes and open them to see that.
It doesn't look like that, no. You're just staring at it. Okay. Is it somehow related to the case? I think we should take the picture, and then you should back away from the unstudied species.
No, there is one more. Thank you. I also have one more thing to say to you. That woman, turn from the ruin. Turn and go forward. Do it for the working class. You cannot lie to me. Behind you, it smells of fires. So awfully far you were prepared to go in her presence. And it. She was middle class. It doesn't take a 3-meter stick insect to tell you that.
Okay.
There is no change in the insect's motion while it's being aimed by the camera.
In 3. If it moves, you jump back. I'll shoot. Here we go.
The shrill flash of the camera cuts the air like the blade of a sword. The phasmid freezes in its bright light. Head turned toward the lieutenant, hypnotized by the flash. It stands frozen before you.
I got it.
The antennae hang from a great height. With your hand shaking, you barely touch the tip of the left whisker. On contact, the kiting curls. It is surprisingly delicate, the curly end of the whisker.
Be careful, detective. It's moving.
You were right. It glistens with some kind of moisture. The creature in front of you stays frozen. It tastes like sugar, very faint. The anthropod towers above you, tough, odorless, mostly comprised of water. The limb before you is incredibly light, like eggshell. It's much lighter than a reed. You feel a soft warning. A small shudder passes the creature's arm. High above you, its black pearl eyes there is some kind of countdown happening as it slowly processes the overwhelming bright. Another shudder pulses through the creature's limbs. It jolts back to life, like a record continuing where it left off, in a swaying prey. As you're turning away, the phasmid mirrors your movements, stepping on the water, the long limbs carrying its feather weight without breaking its surface. And just like that, it's gone, skating away across the sea's calm mirror, and something under it. In the place it stood, bobbing there, among the reeds, a collection of
It's gone. Apparently, yes. Like a water strider. Only... I've never seen anything that looks like a nest of some sort. We should have a look.
What now?
Our suspect is not looking so good. We need to check on him.
This passport, issued by the Sovereign Republic.
Classia's hidden documents. From the MT boy.
It's Claudia, with short black hair and glasses. She looks boyish.
Maybe our man, Mr. Dross, took it from Classia's, or whatever her name was. Hiding place, or... Perhaps. But that still doesn't explain how it got into the nest. Like a magpie? What a coincidence. Then it would also have collected the other objects, which she said it would be for Anouk Meyer-Smith. Anouk.
Katarzyna Alazia was supposed to be her real name, where Claudia comes from. Remember? Goddamn, I told you she kept lying to you. She's probably lying to someone else right now, in another city.
Yes, somehow she managed to lie to us, one more time. In a way, she's still lying to us right now. I don't know. But it's not Katarzyna Alasia, or Clasia, or Anouk Meyer-Smith. We didn't even scratch. Perhaps it's better that we didn't arrest her. Who knows what else she'd be raising in mind.
What is it? What do you want from me?
Something is very wrong with him now.
See?
Mr. Dross?
The man does not respond. He keeps staring, black eyes glazed over and bulging from their sockets. A light shiver passes him, followed by nothing.
He's going into some kind of psychomotor immobility. The good news is, this solves our transportation problem. Doesn't it, Mr. Dross?
The trembling mouth.
Between this and the broken tire he's used for a boat, I think it's safe to leave him here, while we go and get help. It will need to be medical first, I'm afraid. Old age and shock. The appearance of the phasmid in conjunction with the stress of the arrest. He spent his entire life here. For him to leave would be...
He stares into the reeds. Your words don't stir anything in him. Perhaps you should... Nothing. Just dull staring.
If Kuno kicked it into the sea, as he said he did, the ebb would put it back here. This makes sense. Mr. Dross could have picked it up. Or the phasmid even, if it...
No reaction. His breathing is slow.
Did you take this passport and other papers?
The spirit.
He hears us. The spirit?
No reply.
Try something else? We got him back for a moment.
I
I lost.
He turns his eyes to the reeds again, as he's done so.
He lost the scope. Then it somehow made its way over there. With the help of a This sight is a T9, Mr. Dross. Was it attached to the rifle when you...
Silence. Not even a sigh. The plastic cape flaps around his face in a gust of wind. The blacks of his eyes are receding. His pupils are returned. The strength has all gone out of him. Just frail old...
We should think about getting back to the mainland. To get help. He'll be safe here. If we don't take...
ICM? This feels familiar somehow.
Insul Indian Citizens Militia. It's the official name of the Communards Army. The black...
Sounds an awful lot like.
It does. The RCM may descend from the ICM. It's impossible to say. It was chaos after the war. The name was good for getting people to join us.
Nice political thought. A mediocre athlete would pant from dragging around his body on a bus.
There were all sorts of groups and groupuscules back then. It doesn't really matter. No.
With its horns in the sky. The symbol of the commune.
No, that's the uninhabited...
A DeLorean-era symbol of Insulinda, known as the Face.
After 44 years? That's not nearly enough to hide what happened here. One of these barrels was still leaking fuel, as you saw. The city is full of things like this.
The chain trails off into the ocean, connecting the island to the supply depot on the...
Ah, yes, so it seems. For bringing munitions to the island, maybe? And supplies? You could also lock...
As a defensive measure, lock it off that side of the bay.
From enemies. Enemies of the commune of Revachol. This sea fort was a revolutionary fortification, I believe. Technically, no, it doesn't.
He's right. The skiff is swaying on the waves.
Let's. We are done here.
The skiff rocks gently under your weight as you get in. But for the sound of conversation on the wall, you reach the jetty and climb out of the skiff.
Look what the tide brought in. I want to call you a teapot, but I'm honestly kind of impressed. No idea where you got all that gear, but there's no doubt in my mind that some bad people are looking for it. Also, you look like a fucking idiot.
Whatever this is, it is completely unimportant. This is the man with sunglasses from the Whirling in Rags. But where are his sunglasses?
That's right. And you're some kind of murder machine.
Hello, I'm Trent Heilerstein. I believe we've met on several occasions.
I'm your goddamn partner, Jean Vicomar, and this is your special task force. Or what's left of it. Special Consultant Trent Heilerstam, Battle Officer Judith Minot.
Hi.
We've come to scrape what's left of you off the pavement.
Lieutenant Kim Kisuragi, Precinct 57. We've just come from the island, where our
The scene is making even him feel as though he has to justify your...
We might need your help with something later.
As if he recalled that he's in fact a decorated police...
But this is clearly a departmental matter, so I'm going to leave you to discuss it among yourselves.
It's good to meet you, Lieutenant Kitsuhagi.
Letting the lieutenant know he shouldn't feel embarrassed over the shitstorm that's about to befall you.
We're not forgetting about anything. Look at you. Oh, really? They don't seem bothered by it? That's because you're a cop in an exoskeleton. Actually, are you? Are you still a cop? There's so much disco going on, it's...
Vic, calm down. Ari, we want to help you. Trent, I believe this is where you come in?
I don't quite know what I'm doing here. I was asked to participate as an expert. I think I need to manage your expectations a little. I'm at best an enthusiast in cognitive science. My background is in something else entirely. I engage in neurology on a merely theoretical level. In fact, I should probably get...
No, Trent, it's too late. You're part of this shit now. What have you got to say for yourself, shit kid?
Shit kid. What an interesting moniker.
You, shit kid? That...
Despite all that you've done, the deserter, the phasmid, the case...
No, because of all that you've done. The cafeteria manager you fucked over told us where you went. Strange. He didn't mention that. In fact, the establishment didn't look safe at all. There was a giant aerograffito in front of the building. It was on fire. I don't know. It had shit kid written all over it. Guilty as charged. I heard you'd lost your mind and your memory. I wanted to see if it was true. And it was. Good work, Harry. You're insane now. There's one less person for me and everyone else to rely on.
He was too sarcastic for you to realize who he was.
I didn't lie to you. No one lies to you. You were so fucked up on booze you couldn't recognize your own partner.
Lieutenant, my name is not Horse-Faced Woman. It's Judith Minot. I was assigned to your unit 2 months ago. I thought we were friends. Okay, because you're my commanding officer, I really want to respect you. I want to...
That will never happen, Jude. He's the rudest man on earth. He's the reason why the rest of us have to take sensitivity training. And I hate sensitivity training.
Yes, I'm Trant Heilerstein. I never said I wasn't Trant Heilerstein. Mikhail? Mikhail's my son. No, I was just interested in the Feld building and the Martinez beachhead. And Mikhail wanted to see Martinez. It was a coincidence. What indeed? I was asked to share my take on some of the more obscure theories developed in Königstein in the 30s, like partial psychotraumatic amnesia, group personality theory.
He's here to see if you're insane. He is smart. Let's move on. Duped? Hey, here's a brilliant idea. Don't be a morbid drunk and you won't be duped so easily.
Yes, I'm still Kim Kisolagi, still a lieutenant from Precinct 57.
Yeah, Major Crimes Unit, under Lieutenant Dubois and Vicomar. Ring any bells? Refresh your memory? It's a goddamn Major Crimes Unit. There's you, me, Jude, Tron fucking Idlestown, and Guillaume baby.
I'm technically just a
Oh, fuck you. You're part of this shit show. Oh, that's an interesting story, actually. Guillaume Bevy is a police reporter who joined our team. He was really good. Then he left because he lost faith in your ability to lead. Other people have left too. Good, smart people. People we won't get back. Only me and this really patient patrol officer are still here. And Tron.
Is this Guillaume Bevy blonde and partial to sunglasses?
See? There. He's getting it. I was impersonating him. Look at me, I'm G-Bevy. It was going to be funny, but then you really did have brain damage. So not so much anymore. Do? It's a Major Crimes Unit. We cleared the desk of cases so Precinct 41 doesn't look like the worst station in town. We are shit tier now, Harry. Because of you.
The 41st isn't...
Where have we been? We've been fucking off as far as I remember. You told us to fuck off. You said we're cramping your style. Your detective god. Fuck everything. All we burn. Detect or die. Oh, you think it was cool you saying that? Aesthetic somehow? You were crying when we got here. Breaking things. You said we were going into... None of us wanted to see the abyss. So we fucked off. Like you told us to. The bells aren't ringing because you have brain damage. Trant, this is where you come in. How bad is it?
Well, he doesn't have visible tremors, he talks without slurring, he can drive a boat, he's standing, reasoning. All good signs, but complete retrograde amnesia.
Meaning, you forgot both who you are and the definitions of money, Isola.
As displayed in the station call, our interactions with him, and I don't want to be a snitch, but also mine with him before when Harry did not seem to know who I was.
Interesting?
Yes, interesting. I have my theories, but I would like to hear Harry's thoughts first. Harry, what do you think happened to you? Neurologically, psychologically, and why not socioeconomically?
He is. He's getting better. And I can confirm that he drank a lot of alcohol.
I believe he drank. People do that, especially this one. What they don't do is forget their whole life because of drinking.
But Detective Vicmer, he has blanked out before. Yes, a couple of times. After some of the more serious benders. One was after the two drunks case, the other when we looked into that mural.
So you don't remember not remembering. Beautiful. The two cases in your ledger. The unsolvable case and the next world. Those cases were hard on you.
Interesting. So at first he dipped his toes into it, prepared. That's where he would have gotten the idea, yes. Practice.
What do you mean?
Well, here's my theory. What if this is an absolutely normal reaction to the world we're living in? What if this is not a significant anomaly at all? Look at the ruins, the neon, listen to the radio, the multitudes, the people. Live here for 40 years. As a police detective, he's like a magnetic reader on the hardwired to the free market. He just needed for it to end.
Okay, Trent, thank you. That's absolutely meaningless. I'm glad we brought you. Will he or will he not be able to work in the Major Crimes Unit?
He's not a cretin. and he is able to do work, if not in his previous leadership role, then as a line detective.
No one even mentioned that. I misphrased my question. It should have been, is he able to put his clothes on and use the body? Or do we need to get him on a disability pension? Now nothing. Now we're just going to stand here. No, now we discuss that. What the fuck did you do to a motor carriage? Why is it there, Harry? Ah, so refreshing. He just admits it. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for destroying 45,000 real of police property that's coming out of everyone's payslip. It doesn't matter. Your badge, Harry. Show me your badge.
In a rush to demonstrate your badge, your eager fingers can't sustain a grip on the smooth plastic, and the badge slips out of your hand. You juggle the badge for a second, unsuccessfully, and it lands on the ground, some 2 meters away. Ouch! You strained your elbow trying to catch that stupid thing.
He found it. He found it, Jean. It's his badge.
And your gun?
As if having your badge and gun are natural states. Not what is it with all these material objects?
I don't care about your collection, you hoarding freak. Is one of them your service weapon? I only want to know about that one gun. He has it. And he didn't drop it. You're drunk like a bum, Harry. Put that thing away before you kill someone. We're not talking about the fucking gun anymore. We're talking about the vaporized cloud of ether.
This is so unfair. He knows you have the gun, and still he's punishing you.
You were never supposed to lose it in the first place. Not lost is your gun's natural state, you drunk bum. I don't buy it. Why do you smell like a corpse?
He's wounded. It's been a long week, and he's handled an actual corpse.
A bit of a week? You're drunk, and you let a suspect escape, a certain Clasier, because you were too drunk to assess a flight risk.
We've read the report, Sari. Lieutenant Kitsuragis. We know.
Oh, well, if she was nice. I'm not even gonna get into the other suspect, the one who shot herself, in the head. Or the fact that you're Everclear's little peony now, doing I don't know what for him. That's small-time stuff, that's nothing. That's a humorous compared to the 7 people who were gunned down. The streets are literally red with blood, Harry. It was fucking mass murder.
He did everything he could. We did everything we could. The company hired and vetted mercenaries. Lieutenant Dubois got between them and the locals. He did so at considerable risk to his person. Remember, he was shot. We stopped an execution, not a negotiation. The loss of life was minimal compared to what it could have been. Detective, it's better if I do that.
It's so much better if he does this. A million.
Thank you for the input, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. I didn't mean to suggest you didn't handle the situation. You've spent the week with him on this case. What is your take?
On the case?
On Lieutenant Geoffrey Dubois.
Well, the drinking, the gun losing, also losing the badge. That's all true. Although he has not been drinking on the job this week.
See?
1 week.
Then there's the boring cop issue. Despite all the obvious and almost grotesque mannerisms and sartorial choices, he still insists he isn't characteristic enough. It's worrying, especially considering his political views. Detective Dubois is, as you may know, a Mazovian socio-economist. He wants to liquidate the ruling class, which, again, for a police officer.
You should yell something. Yes, let's let the...
Other still, he is also an ultra-liberal hustler who is always on the grind. How he reconciles these 2 points of view, I do not know. But he is vocal about both of them. And then there's the motor carriage in the sea, something I was not present for. But despite all this, he is a great detective. One of the best. He can talk human beings into telling him anything, and he doesn't stop. In all the time I've spent with him, he has not once stopped working on the case. He is tireless, madly driven. Well, except that one time when he stopped to sing karaoke, which, by the way, I have to disagree with you, Mr. Vicmar, was a valiant effort. He really sang his heart out.
Okay, he did something.
Other than that one time, he has tirelessly worked on the case, and he solved it. We have a confession, a murder weapon, and the perpetrator. Locked on the... He apprehended a straggler who stayed hidden for 50 years, ever since the revolution, who's probably committed other murders over those years. Oh, and he also discovered a new species.
A new species?
A colossal stick insect. It was on the island, camouflaged as the reeds. It unfolded from...
He takes out the photo of the phasmid and shows it to the officers across the yard. The wind blows. You hear gasps beneath the howling.
As you can see, it's about 3 meters tall. In fact, we think it may be the largest land invertebrate ever discovered.
Fucking hell is that? Is this somehow connected to the case?
The killer did not seem to be aware of the phasmid's presence. Exhibiting a strange, atypical dementia, he fell into a stupor after its appearance. He became near catatonic.
So it is connected.
I must say, this is absolutely extraordinary. I don't even have...
Yes. It really does make it hard to fire the drunk.
Now you make your case. Now is the time. Now or never.
Lilianovich. A revolutionary matronym. The custom started in Grad, where they have patronyms. Krasovich, Lasovich, etc. The revolutionaries saw this as this man's mother was Lilian. His Lilian's son, Lilianovich. The custom was over...
So, it is what a soldier of the ICM would be called.
Thank you, Trant. Thank you for that piece of cultural theory. You said you have a motive?
Of course, excuse me, I just thought it was noteworthy.
He wasn't quite sure about the straggler before he heard this detail. It must have convinced him.
And it worked? He got a war going?
Yes, until we stopped it. He saw the mercenary as an ennemi combattant. There's plenty for prosecution to pick from. Also, we have a sniper's nest with full view of the room in which the mercenary died, right on the island, and 2 officers on the scene that Mr. Dross confessed to.
It's a clean win.
Oh, it's way more than that.
I've never doubted you can pull yourself together and work. In bouts. Bouts don't last. I can still...
God damn it. Doesn't it ever leave? It is there. Like it will pass in time.
Female? What makes you think so?
You had to see it. It had the subdued colors of a female, and the nesting
Incredible. Were there eggs in the nest?
not as far as I could see. There were other things there, though.
Actually, you know, this would indicate it was a male. This is far from anything in my field, but I think such nests are...
Bowers are built by males of the species who can't afford colorful mating displays physically.
Of course, as I said, I'm only guessing. I didn't see it. It must be robust if it can move a whole helmet with its limbs. As in cloning itself? What makes you think so? Then it wouldn't matter if it's male or female. The bower would just be rudimentary behavior from...
That makes sense.
Very interesting. Such organisms are extremely vulnerable to disease. A single strain of bacteria could wipe out the whole species.
In his mind, he's already planning a nature reserve and knows a good guy for that.
Yes, but also reed-colored, beige and brown, a little green on the outside.
Incredible. The PR value of this is exceptional. Carp discovers new species. Maybe even discover...
This would really help with some of the problems we've been having.
Absolutely, this is great. This does not say vigilante murderers to me at all. This says science, news...
Without it,
You're doing good here. Perhaps only for a moment, but still.
how? It seems to be ongoing. I see red back.
He didn't quite solve it. He cross-pollinated information between the company rep and Evrard, until the rep came to see that the Union desires war, at which point Mrs.
What? Hand clear the terminal. Sounds like you got played, Harry. Because you were off your tits on Al Ghul. It doesn't matter how we know about Al Ghul. What matters is, you're Everett Clare's peony now.
It's not quite like that. The move allowed us to stabilize things here. It was not bad for Martin.
Okay.
Silence. Good. The man doesn't know what to say.
Yes. Fallen through a gap in a boardwalk. Drunk.
The body was transported to Precinct 41, our morgue. I had Tilbrook and Mullins take care of funeral arrangements and family.
You're not the only cop in the world, Harry. This all comes back to us.
Still, good work with the missing person, Detective.
I don't know what a doomed commercial area is. Why? That's not what you were supposed to do.
There was a possible witness in there, and it was close to the crime scene. He was just chasing a lead and ended up advising a local shop.
Of course. Call it community outreach.
Dodged the bullet there. For a moment, it seemed like you were just wasting time.
I don't want to, but you discovered a new species and solved the murder. So I have to. Jude?
Anything that ends the trial is okay with me.
Agreed. The public relations potential of this is too valuable to let go.
Okay. We have vehicles in the square, and the perpetrator needs to be taken into custody. Let's go.
The man looks westward, impatient, jingling his car keys in his pocket.
Who are you? You're a gym teacher, Harry. Well, obviously you're not a gym teacher anymore, but...
Before you were a cop, you were a gym teacher in Coron. It's getting really cold outside. Should we maybe...
Harry, it explains everything. The running around, the jumping, the bicep girth, your inexplicable facial hair. Some of your more old-school wording choices. Your posture, even.
And this guy, too. God, even this javelin-throwing freak here.
Of course. Contact Mike.
He's been on about Mike again. I hate that guy. Oh, you don't say. Does he also vault an impassable gulf of finance and
It is getting cold out.
In your 20s or late 20s, you've really let yourself go since then. Yes, you taught gym in Cool. I believe that's the term. Taught gym at a high school. You were a high school gym.
The smell of sweat and glue. Coudon is just east of Jamrock. It was a short walk
High school. Harry, your goings-on with Kuno, Andre, Assel, the whole thing on the ice. That's why you are so juvie.
The regular. You found some chick. She inspired you to fight the big fight. Be more than you are. All that.
You, every morning, walking from Voyager Road to teach gym. She, leaving for the academy with her spring coat on. The air filled with the smell of smoke and raspberry.
I knew it. I knew no normal human being can run like that. He's an honest-to-God gym teacher.
It's not a mystery. Some chick fucked you over. Also, you were drunk.
You really went with it too. Really maximized the damage.
Dora something. Dora Engelund. Yeah, you mentioned the name.
Not Dora Dubois.
Something like that. Half Vazan.
Vasa is where beautifully and impossibly blonde people come from.
No one is married anymore. This is Revachol. God, I don't know. 6 years ago, she was way before my...
6 years and you haven't gotten over it. What the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah, or 7. You're not doing too good there. It's an old man thing. 2 old years equals 1 normal year. That and Dora Engelund really tore you a new one. A big one. Incredibly bangable. She was extremely fuckable, Harry. Gorgeous. A gorgeous bourgeois woman. Wave.
Snow Welkin. Pain Welkin.
I've only seen a picture, but it's obvious you formed a real spiritual connection with how pretty she was. One you never
Look, the sun is about to go down. It's time to go.
I think she taught in the Académie des Arts, east of the river. Way east. Hard to say which came. My point is, you need to see a psychiatrist about this shit. Not a psychologist. Several degrees harder. Is there something harder than a psychiatrist?
In other words, he's heard enough about this.
No. You're too unstable to work for a mob boss. You're suicidal, Harry. No mob boss would take you.
I assure you, I wouldn't consult for a corrupt unit.
He would immediately backpedal. I told you it's not that bad.
Us? We're the bloody murder station, haven't you heard? We're the bad guys. No one likes us.
That's not true. Jamrock is too big for one precinct. You are just understaffed. And everyone respects the 41st. You have Captain Price.
Thank you, Lieutenant. You're being kind. It is an understaffed station and the district is too big, which is why we need to...
Get back to it. We left Torsen and McLean to run the Sea Wing. It's not good. Mac the Torso Torsen and Chester McLean. They're not fit to run a wing. Believe me. Things are shaky as it is.
They are damn iconic though, Torsen and McLean.
Yeah, not like us. Two clinically depressed old men. Where's the contrast here? We're... God. There are 4 wings, Harry. A, B, C, and D. We're in C. It's made of losers and clock punchers. You and I reconceptualized it as a task force.
There's also a lot of outside help involved, not only me. Other losers too.
Ptolemy Price? He's the son of the old Price, one of the founders of the...
He's one of the most highly regarded men in the force.
Somewhere under the curved roof of a former silk factory, shaped like a ladybird with 2 chimneys, they speak of change, the city, the tension on the streets. They speak of the events of April and the blood on...
So he remembers that. Yes, there may have been a raid on some church.
Shooting up churches never is. I was out of town, to be clear.
Our enemies were hiding in a church, to the best of our information. That's it. I'm not talking...
Your clearance will not go up while you're within earshot of the Union headquarters.
Okay. It's not the bloody murder station. It's an old converted silk mill with green desk lamps and a coffee corner.
Jamrock is the largest ghetto in Rivershoal. Faubourg, technically, but it's the...
The press will blow over. Jamrock is lucky to have you, and it's often considered to be the greatest of the districts. You're lucky to have it.
Thank you again, Lieutenant. Who is Lena? Well, good luck finding her once we get...
She and her husband were conducting the search for the Phasmid. It's their discovery, in part. They should know as soon as possible. It would do you good to deliver some positive...
Watch out, or she'll faint.
Well, first I will go back to my station and write the most detailed report anyone has ever seen. It will have to be good to cover all... Detective, we just stopped a small-scale war. Something is happening to Resuelto. I don't know what yet, but it's going to be a hard spring for the RCM. We need to get ready, infiltrate, investigate. Talk to Captain Price? I'd rather not ruffle the feathers of 2 captains with my doom-mongering. Work with Price? I'm flattered, but I don't know if I...
This truly came as a surprise to him. Not a bad one, but he's at a...
Flattered? You're Lieutenant Kitsuragi. We would be flattered if you even considered.
I would have to tie things up in GRIH first. But, I mean, whatever is coming, Jamrock will be more central to...
And we also have a huge caseload, Lieutenant. Piles that we need to get back to.
I do like the sound of that.
He's really considering it.
Good.
Fuck it, let's go. Tron brought his motor carriage. It's a 20-minute drive to Jamrock.
Under the afternoon sky, the great district hums. A chessboard of wooden houses, 80,000 living souls, and chimneys. You close your eyes and hear the dogs bark. A lone woman sits by a factory window, dreaming of meteorite strip. Torsen? Yes. McLean? Yes. Heidelstein? Really? Nick Gottlieb looks up from the list. I hear he's unstable. You say that like it's a bad thing. Captain Ptolemy Price gestures with a ballpoint pen. It's dim in his office.
Wonderful. Then can we please just go back to Jamrock now?
Thank you.